just in general, like when you see your people now, it's like they don't know if they should hug. I mean, I'm a like hands-on kind of person, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm still going in, and then it's just like whoa, and I'm just like whoa, bro, what are you thinking? Like it's fucking awkward now. It's like
I know.
no more 3 a.m. sword fights. You know, it's all over.
Oh my God. So I mean, I know you have a lot of connections with accounts that you book for. Have you had any conversations with the venues of like any type of, I mean, because things kind of slowed down a little bit, like around June.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, obviously, of course, the media, things get blown up, and we're kind of back to like how this first started. Were there anything you seeing like these restaurants and venues like implementing that you thought were great ideas, or like what do you think? How do you think that's going to go?
Let me tell you what isn't happening that I'm seeing. I mean, obviously, like I'll start with like the food and beverage portion of it, because we do work with a lot of venues that we incorporate entertainment into a food and beverage product, which that's always been something that I've like really driven on in this market, especially because I believe that like going out to eat, it's more than just going out to eat. You want an experience. You know, that's why the concept of supper clubs, I think, needs to come back. And it can be done very well if it's executed properly. But here's where you have to be an operator or an owner that's willing to make that investment and say, okay, I know that I can only have a 50 or 60% capacity in my restaurant now. So what's already happening is this: restaurants are charging more for their food, and that the quality is not there and the service isn't there because they're having to retrain staff because they can't get anybody to come back to work because of unemployment or whatever the case is. And so now there's this like void in the experience portion at a lot of food and beverage places. Like I've just walked around town and things, even when I was in Vegas a week ago, just visiting some friends, and we just went to a few spots, and it's like, it's not even just this, that like you take a venue that typically seats 100 people and now it seats 50 people. Automatically that changes the energy in that room. But what's happening is like a lot of businesses are so focused on just trying to keep operations at a certain level and making sure that their operating costs are low. They're forgetting things like, why isn't there music playing in here? Why is the lighting so bright in here? Why is it so hot in here? Why are the glass doors of this place covered in fingerprints like a fucking play school, like a prequel? You know what I mean? It's all of the like experiential details are getting overlooked because, you know, everyone's trying to figure things out. And so I think that there's a market for that. I think that there's a market to consult with businesses and be innovative with ideas that we can incorporate to add a better experience to your restaurant. And if you're smart,
at a lower operating level, you're saying
at a lower operating level. But that's when, you know, you need to help businesses extract their resources. You need to lean on vendors. You need to lean on, you know, whatever you can. I mean, look, everyone's going to be tight. Here's where it gets scary, is when these businesses decide they want to reopen, or nightclubs decide they want to reopen, and you've got 10 million DJs out there starving and gnawing at the bit that are willing to go in and pull their pants down to do whatever just so they can get back in the game. That's a very scary scenario. And it's going to happen in a lot of markets because, you know, whatever venues start opening in their own respective markets, they're going to start with just local talent because they can't pay headliners, or people can't travel, or they're not sure we might be open today, we might not be open tomorrow. And so what's going to happen is it's going to bring down, at least in my opinion, it's going to bring down like the bar to a level that is going to be very difficult to recover from.
Yeah.
And then when you inject a whole other population of kids that are at home training to be DJs right now that can't wait for this shit to clear up so they can go out and kill it for a bar tab, then what does that do to all the other local DJs? So it's almost like a cannibalism that's going to happen in every market, you know?